Here's a number that stopped me cold when I first read it. 1 in 4 Americans over the age of 65 falls each year. That alone sounds manageable. But here's the part nobody talks about. Of the men who suffer a hip fracture from a fall, roughly 1 in 3 will be dead within 12 months. Not from the fracture itself, but from the cascade it triggers. Blood clots, pneumonia, muscle, wasting so severe, the body simply stops recovering. I want you to sit with that for a second, because this isn't about being clumsy. This isn't about wet floors or bad luck. This is a biological problem, and it has a biological solution. My name is Reid. I spent 20 years as a professional athlete, and the last decade, working specifically with men over 60 to build the kind of bodies that don't fail them. What I've learned is that most men approach fall prevention completely backwards. They think about the floor. They think about handrails. They should be thinking about their nervous system, their proprioceptive pathways, and a specific kind of muscle fiber they've been losing since the day they turned 40. Today, we're going to cover 4 things that will fundamentally change how you think about your own stability. We're going to talk about why your balance actually deteriorates at the neurological level. We'll cover the exact type of muscle fiber that prevents falls and why most gym programs completely ignore it. We're going to give you a precision protocol you can start this week. And at the end, I'm going to share a force multiplier habit that costs you nothing and amplifies every single thing in this script. Let's get into it. 1. The proprioception problem. Raymond was 68 when he came to see me. Former engineer, sharp as a tack, still walking 4 miles every day. He'd fallen twice in 6 months, both times on perfectly flat ground. Both times in broad daylight. He was humiliated. He thought something was wrong with his mind. Nothing was wrong with his mind. Everything was wrong with his proprioceptive system, and that distinction matters enormously. Proprioception is your body's internal GPS. You have sensory receptors embedded in your joints, your tendons, and your muscle spindles that are constantly firing signals up to your cerebellum, telling it where every part of your body is in space. At 25, those signals travel fast and clean. At 65, the conduction velocity of those nerve fibers has slowed by up to 30%, and the number of functional mechanoreceptors in your ankle joints has dropped significantly. Think of it like this. Your proprioceptive system is an air traffic control tower. At 25, the radar is crisp, the signals are real-time, every plane lands exactly where it should. By 65, if you've done nothing to maintain the system, the radar has degraded. Planes are arriving late. The controller is guessing. And when you step on an uneven curb or a patch of gravel, there's a half-second delay in the correction signal that, biomechanically speaking, is all gravity needs to win. Here's the protocol that rebuilds that radar. Single-leg stance training. Not yoga, not tai chi, though those aren't bad. Specifically, progressive single-leg balance work performed on unstable surfaces. 3 days per week. Start with 30 seconds on each leg on a flat floor. Progress to a folded towel under your foot, then a balance disc, then eyes closed on a flat surface. Eyes closed work is the critical variable. It forces the proprioceptive system to work without visual compensation, which is exactly the scenario that causes most indoor falls. Raymond did this for 8 weeks. He told me the world felt different, steadier. His words, "It's like the floor stopped moving." The floor didn't change. His nervous system did. The proprioception problem sets up the second problem, because even a perfect nervous system can't save you if the muscles it's trying to activate aren't fast enough to respond. 2. The fast twitch crisis. Most men in their 60s still have decent strength. They can push a lawnmower, they can carry groceries. Slow, sustained force is not the issue. The issue is speed. Falls happen fast. An ankle rolls in 80 milliseconds. A center of gravity shift happens in under 150 milliseconds. The window for a corrective muscle response is brutally narrow, and that corrective response depends almost entirely on type 2 muscle fibers. Your fast twitch fibers, which atrophy at roughly twice the rate of slow twitch fibers after age 50. Dominic was 72 when he came to my gym, built like he'd been lifting for decades. Thick arms, solid chest. He'd done steady-state resistance training his whole life. 3 sets of 10, controlled tempo, slow and smooth. When I asked him to do a quick lateral shuffle, he hesitated. His body hesitated. The signal was there. The fast twitch fibers weren't. Here's the mechanism. Fast twitch motor units are governed by high-threshold motor neuron recruitment. If you never train at speeds and intensities that demand rapid recruitment, your nervous system essentially stops bothering with those units. They atrophy from disuse. And because myosin heavy chain protein isoforms in type 2 fibers shift towards slower phenotypes with age, this process accelerates whether you train or not. But training dramatically slows it. The protocol here is reactive power training. Box step-ups performed explosively. The concentric phase should take under 1 second. Medicine ball wall passes. Sit-to-stand drills at maximum controllable speed. 2 sessions per week, 3 to 4 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions. The load is moderate. This is about velocity, not maximum weight. The goal is to force high-threshold motor unit recruitment repeatedly, signaling to your nervous system that those units still matter. Is this safe for older joints? Yes, with one modification. The eccentric phase, the lowering, stays slow and controlled. You're loading the fast twitch demand on the concentric only. This distributes force appropriately and protects articular cartilage while still triggering the adaptation you need. Dominic added reactive work to his program for 10 weeks. His lateral shuffle improved measurably. More importantly, he stopped feeling like his legs were delayed. That delay is a fall waiting to happen, but fast twitch capacity and proprioception still aren't enough on their own. Because the platform they operate from your hip girdle and posterior chain has to be stable before any of it matters. Before we get to Chapter 3, I want to ask you something directly. When did you last lose your balance? Not a full fall, just a stumble. A moment where your body surprised you. Drop that in the comments, because that moment is data. It tells you exactly where your system is breaking down, and knowing that changes everything about how you train. 3. The hip abductor blind spot. Gary was 66, a former runner, still active. He came to me after a near fall on a hiking trail. He'd caught himself but barely. His glutes were reasonably strong. His quads were fine. But when I tested his hip abductors bilaters, there was a significant asymmetry. His left side was dramatically weaker than his right. Hip abductors, the gluteus, medius, and minimus, are the primary stabilizers of your pelvis during single-leg phases of gait, which means every single step you take depends on them. When they're weak or asymmetric, your pelvis drops on the unsupported side during walking. This is called the Trendelenburg sign, and even a subtle version of it destabilizes your entire kinetic chain with every stride. Here's why this specific muscle group gets neglected. Most gym-based lower body training, squats, leg press, lunges, primarily loads the hip extensors and quadriceps. The abductors work as stabilizers, but rarely as prime movers. They atrophy quietly. You don't notice until a lateral demand exposes them. The protocol: lateral band walks. 3 sets of 15 steps each direction. Side-lying hip abductions with a resistance band, 3 sets of 12. Single-leg Romanian deadlifts, which simultaneously challenge hip abductor stability and posterior chain strength. 2 sets of 8 per leg. These are performed twice per week. Safe for older joints because none of them require deep knee flexion, high compressive loads, or rotational torque. Gary corrected his asymmetry in 6 weeks. The hiking trail that nearly took him down became routine again. But there's one final layer, and this one operates from the inside out. 4. The hormonal accelerant. Everything we've covered so far, proprioception, fast twitch recruitment, hip abductor strength, is built on a physiological foundation that is being actively eroded by one hormone that most men over 60 have in chronically elevated amounts: cortisol. Cortisol is your body's primary stress hormone. In acute doses, it's useful. It sharpens focus, mobilizes energy, prepares you for threat. But chronic cortisol elevation, which becomes more common as men age due to disrupted sleep, accumulated life stress, and blunted circadian rhythm, is catastrophically destructive to the exact tissues we've been discussing. Cortisol directly suppresses mTOR signaling, the primary anabolic pathway for muscle protein synthesis, while simultaneously accelerating the degradation of type 2 muscle fibers. Think of cortisol as a slow acid drip on your muscle architecture. You don't feel it happening. But over years, it quietly dismantles the fast twitch fibers you just trained to rebuild inhibits the proprioceptive improvements you worked for, and critically reduces motor neuron excitability, which means even the signals your brain is trying to send arrive weaker. The protocol here is not a supplement. It's a sleep structure intervention. Research consistently shows that testosterone, growth hormone, and IGF-1, the anabolic counterforces to cortisol, are predominantly secreted during slow-wave sleep, specifically in the first 3 hours of the night. Disrupting that window through late screens, alcohol, or inconsistent bed timing suppresses anabolic output and leaves cortisol unopposed. Specific application: consistent sleep and wake times, the same 7 days a week. No blue light exposure for 60 minutes before bed. No alcohol within 3 hours of sleep. Alcohol suppresses slow wave depth, even when it seems to help you fall asleep. This isn't soft wellness advice. This is hormonal management with direct structural implications for your fall risk. Here's the one habit that makes everything else in this video work harder. Walk barefoot daily. Specifically, barefoot on varied terrain, grass, gravel, sand, uneven ground, for 15 to 20 minutes per day. Here's the mechanism. The plantar surface of your foot contains some of the highest density mechanoreceptor tissue in your entire body. Mechanoreceptors are the sensory organs that feed proprioceptive data to your cerebellum. Modern footwear, especially thick-soled, cushioned shoes, dampens that input signal continuously. Your proprioceptive system is running on muffled data every hour you're in shoes. Barefoot walking on varied terrain floods the system with high-quality sensory data. It activates the intrinsic foot muscles that modern footwear has rendered largely dormant, and it directly amplifies the proprioceptive training from Chapter 1 by giving those retrained neural pathways real-world input to work with. Start with 5 minutes on grass. Progress slowly. This isn't extreme. Your grandfather probably didn't wear cushioned shoes from the moment he woke up, and his feet knew where the ground was. The fact that you're still watching this, that you tracked through the neuroscience, through the fast twitch physiology, through the hormonal mechanisms, that's not what most men do. Most men learn about fall prevention after someone they love hits the floor. You're learning it now. That is what separates the men who age on their terms from the ones who don't. You are not one bad step away from a death sentence. Not if you train the system. Not if you maintain the neural pathways, the fast twitch capacity, the hip stability, and the hormonal environment that makes all of it possible. This is a decision you make before it becomes urgent, and you already made it. The men who take this seriously, who actually do the single leg work, the reactive training, the barefoot walks, they don't just prevent falls. They move through the world with a physical confidence that most men lose and never recover. That's what's available to you. It starts this week. Stay strong, stay sharp, stay in the game.